Hi everyone. Well, we are living in some interesting times and Jamaica culinary tours right now. We're through social distancing, we haven't been able to operate any tours, but we thought that we'd love to keep in touch with you guys and let you know what's going on in Jamaica. So we're all fine, just hunkering down. We wanted to continue just letting you know about Jamaican food because that's what our passion is. So we looked in our own kitchen and we said, okay, we're going to share with you a little bit about Jamaican cooking, things that we don't have the time to tell you in our food tour. So this right here is just a little sampling of what we have in our kitchen. These are Jamaican spices and herbs and so on. So in the next few days, we're going to be sharing with you about them. But for today, I think today's theme is about pepper. So let me just tell you a few things about Jamaican food. If you have heard it's peppery, forget that. Yes, we use a lot of pepper, and you'll certainly know that by the time I finish it here today. But our food is not designed to be peppery. The pepper we use is to enhance it. So I'm just going to take you through just a couple of things we found in our kitchen today. So I'm going to start with my favorite, pica pepper sauce. Pica pepper sauce. Okay, notice it's pica pepper with a thing on the A on the end, not right? Okay, so pica pepper sauce is a Jamaican made sauce. Recipe is secret. It's a family recipe. Nobody knows what's in it. Mango, tamarind, a ton of stuff, but we don't know exactly how much, how it's made or anything. So this is also a version of the pica pepper sauce, but this is the latest version. They have several, but we happen to have the gingery mango in our cupboards. So what do you use these sauces for? You use these sauces when you're seasoning up your food. And as I'm talking about seasoning, let me explain to you guys how we do our seasoning. If let's say you have a pot roast, is a roast you're going to do chicken, lamb, whatever, before you put that thing in the oven or on the stove, you do so much seasoning. So we put it there, we season it, salt, pepper, of course, but then a whole range of these things. How much? The best thing I can tell you is somebody said, you pour it until the ancestors say stop. I know that's not scientific, but we don't really do a lot of measuring. We do a lot of shaking. So this we would use if we're doing a roast beef, a chicken, whatever, and we'd use it in the marinade, soak it in there for a few hours, and then you cook it in it, and it's awesome. You can also use this like you're making sandwiches, you're making a dip, chutney, anything like that. This is perfect. It gives it a lovely flavor. It is not peppery. It's more flavorful. So this one you can be fairly liberal with. All right, moving along. I said you could be liberal with that. Do not be liberal with this. This is the daddy of all hot peppers. And it's actually called hot pepper sauce. And just in case you didn't get the message, it says very hot, okay? And the color red tells you how hot this thing is. So this one is also used in our seasoning. You're just gonna do a few drops of this because too much would kind of, make people be gasping. It is made from Scotch bonnet and other peppers, so it is very hot, as we said. And how we do it in Jamaica, we use a little bit of it in the seasoning, and then we put it on the table and people will reach for it as they wish. So some people love a lot of pepper. Don't be insulted. They're going to automatically, as they put on their food, they're going to say, where's the hot pepper? And they're going to go for it. It doesn't mean you're not a good cook. That's just their habit. They love a lot of pepper. So this is a hot pepper sauce, okay? Use this with care. Put it on the side if you're not sure. So as I'm talking about pepper and Scotch bonnet, I wanted to introduce you to this one that we happen to have in the kitchen, papaya Scotch bonnet. So Scotch bonnet, if you have taken our food tour, you will know that Scotch bonnet is one of the primary peppers we have in Jamaica. Very, very hot, okay? And the papaya gives it an infused flavor, which makes it somewhat different. So you don't have to chop up the pepper, you can just put the sauce on it. Again, you would use it in cooking and doing that marinade that I spoke about earlier. Some people, like if you have a hamburger or so, some very brave souls would put this directly onto the hamburger. I wouldn't, but some people would. So this is the papaya scotch bonnet. Now, just to mention that I have a lot of labels here, but don't think we're recommending any particular brand. This is just what we had in our cupboard, and we tend to be very experimental. So it's out there, we try it, and if we like it, it continues to be a staple. So everything we're telling you here, we love. All right, Busher Brown Spicy Hot Pepper Sherry. This is something we discovered a few years back, and we like to use it a lot. In this we tend to use like in soups. So you know, like people cook with wine. This is if you want to cook with some sherry, and this is the with a little bit of pepper in it. So you're going to get the sherry flavor. Sherry, you know, is very rich and robust, and then you're also going to get some pepper, which makes it quite delicious. So I use this, as I said, in soups. You might use it, yes, of course you can still use it in seasoning, and it will give it that little extra kick. Now this is called Busher Brown's. So I happen to have this book, Busher Brown's Compendium of Traditional Jamaica Cookery. So the other thing we love to do, we love to collect cookbooks. And this cookbook, as you could see, is well used. See all these little blue labels here? All the recipes we plan to try sometime in the future. And that might be now, since we're all at home, so it's a great time to try that. So this is Busher Brown's. Again, don't use too much of it, and use it in your preparation. All right, another one we have the cookbook for is Belcour. I think this is the final one I'm going to share with you today. Belcour's Honey Mustard Pepper Sauce. So now this is a good one to use as a marinade when you're prepping your meats. It's also a good one to put on the table as an aside. Some people put it directly onto their meats or whatever. So this pepper is one that you would use if you want some additional flavors. So honey always gives something a little bit mild of a taste, and the mustard will give it a totally different flavor as well. So I would cook this like with chicken or with lamb or pork chops. Would be absolutely delicious. Yes. And as we're speaking about Belcour, I wanted to talk about Belcour is a brand, a Jamaican brand, and she has a wonderful cookbook. And as you could see, again, we have our labels here of recipes we will try, and she has different sauces and so on, and we are working our way through the cookbook. What we love about this particular cookbook is that she's of mixed heritage, as are most Jamaicans, and she talks about, so it's a story cookbook. She talks about her heritage, her how the different members of the family have influenced how she cooks and so on, and she makes a pretty mean sauce. So here we are, guys. I thought it was six different sauces. These are all peppers. So use any or all next time you come to Jamaica. Pick up a few, and hope you found this fun and interesting. And we'll be back, because as you can see, we have a tray full of other Jamaican stuff we need to share with you. Until then, stay safe, stay inside. Bye-bye.